joining the show now is mathematician Matthew Tim from Bradley University. Matthew, thanks for being here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for getting back in touch.
Absolutely. Well, today, last week we were talking COVID-19 death rates. We saw the highest single-day spike of deaths related to the virus on Thursday. Now, the following day, yet another big day with over 150 deaths. So let's talk about the death rate and what we're able to predict, kind of going off of last Thursday. What can we take away from those high numbers?
Okay, well, it looked like if you looked at just those 2 days, it looked like things were not trending in the direction that we were hoping. But I went through and redid the 3-day, 7-day, 10-day, and 14-day running averages. And if you look at those slides, you can start to see that when you average even those big spikes into the data, it still looks like things are starting to flatten out. We won't actually be able to tell what the effects of that spiking is, whether there's some long-term trend or whether that was just a 1 or 2 day fluctuation in the data, until we've got a few more days, maybe a week, week and a half of things to look at. But again, if you look at those slides, you can see that it does look like things are still leveling off a little bit once you start averaging over the average number of deaths over longer time periods.
And when obviously we're looking at those models there, we can see that leveling off. Does that mean social distancing is working? Does that mean what we're doing as a state and as local communities is seeing an impact when it comes to the death rate?
That's my interpretation. I think that probably the best person to ask, or the better people to ask, would be the public health officials. And my understanding from what's been in the media over the weekend is that people do feel like the social distancing is having a positive impact on the death rate and infection rates.
And what can we take away from the state's death toll versus here in central Illinois? Obviously, across the state, we're over or around 4,000 deaths. Here locally in Peoria County, we have 6. We have a handful in McLean County. What can we take away from the large separation in numbers from the state versus here in central Illinois?
Well, I think there's different ways to think about what's going on. One thing that's suggested to me is that locally we've done a pretty good job of maintaining social distancing and doing what we should be doing.
All right, Mr. Tim, well, thanks for joining us today. As always, we appreciate your insight when it comes to breaking down these models.
Okay, thank you. Good talking to you.
All right, we'll be right back.